Hello everyone. In this lecture we'll talk about one of the non-gel based approach that's called label-free quantification techniques to study proteome. As we know, the proteome, which is 10,000s of proteins present in a cell, can be separated using either by gel based approach like two-dimensional gel electrophoresis, or can be separated using gel-free methods. So one of the gel-free methods is label-free quantification. The other methods could be using a two-dimensional chromatography, which is used to separate those 10,000s of proteins, or one can use the tags, chemical tagging method, or peptide and protein arrays. In this lecture, we'll talk about label-free quantification. These rest of the technique will continue in other lectures. So in label-free quantification, first a sample is prepared. For example, you want to do proteomic studies. You want to study all the proteins present in some, say, liver tissue. So liver tissue is taken, and from liver tissue, entire proteins, all the proteins present in the tissue, they are extracted using different methods. After extraction of those 10,000s of protein, those proteins are fragmented using enzymes, proteases. We use protease here to fragment proteins into peptides because proteases are highly specific to their cleavage site. The protease cleaves all the time, every time it cleaves at the same site in the protein. For example, if you use trypsin, it will cleave at the C terminal of lysine and arginine to the peptide bond. So you get, say, 10,000s of proteins you are fragmenting, so you'll get large number of peptides produced from the entire proteome. And those peptides, they are separated, and you separate them using a liquid chromatography. And when you look at the chromatogram, you will get many large number of peptide peaks in the chromatogram. Now these peptide peaks, the area of the peak, for example, if you see this single peak area, this represent relative abundance of that peptide, the concentration of that peptide. So you can calculate the area of the individual peak, and those individual peak area will give you quantification of the peptide present in your sample. Now this peptide, the quantity, the amount of the peptide in turn reflect concentration of the protein it is coming from after peptide hydrolysis. So from here you will know that what is the concentration of each peptide which is coming from your sample after digestion. And now your second objective would be here to know which peptide it is, or the protein which it's coming from. So this peptide would be taken, this peptide peak from chromatography would be taken to MS-MS, and MS-MS will give you, after fragmentation, will give you sequence of the peptide. So number of peptide, number of proteins in the sample, and sequencing of each and every peptide can be achieved using MS-MS. So once you have the peptide sequence, you would like to know which is this protein, which is the protein is coming from. So you will take the peptide sequence and you will search in the database similarities. By using similarity search, you can find out which protein is coming from. So from here you will know that which is the protein is being in what concentration in your sample. Label-free quantification also can be used for differential expression proteomics. That simply means if you have two state of a tissue, for example, you have a normal tissue and a diseased tissue or treated tissue. Likewise here a healthy brain is taken and diseased brain is taken. So we want to see the differences in proteins present in both the samples, the healthy brain and the diseased brain. So we'll do extraction of protein separately from both the tissues, and the proteome, extracted proteome from each tissue will be sent under proteolysis using some protease enzyme, and you will get peptides from, say, this sample A, which is a healthy brain, and the sample B, the peptide from sample B, which is a diseased brain. Now these two peptide pool will be independently separated. The peptide separation would be achieved by using a liquid chromatography, and in liquid chromatography you will get large number of peaks. Here only this one is shown, but you get large number of peaks coming from each sample. So these chromatogram from sample A and sample B can be superimposed, and after superimposition of the chromatogram you will see the peptide which are present in high or low concentration in either of the sample. For example, this one example where this chromatogram is superimposed into this peak. This peak in one sample. This one sample, here the sample B is in orange color, A in blue color. So you see here the blue color peak is larger than the orange color. Orange color is smaller here. That simply means this peptide is present in sample A in high concentration and in sample B in low concentration, because the area of the blue color peak, which is from the sample A, is larger than the orange color peak that is coming from sample B. This information you achieve by superimposing both the chromatograms. Or you may see that some of the peaks, for example here blue and orange, they are coming at different retention time. They are different. It means these two peptides are uniquely present in A and B sample. They are not common peptides. Right? So this information you attain from here, which are the peptides which are differentially present in A and B state of the sample, the healthy brain and the diseased brain. So your next objective would be here, you would like to know what is that peptide which is differentially expressed in both the states. So you will send this peptide peak to MSMS, and MSMS will give you sequence of this peptide. So from here you will know that this is the peptide which is present in A state in high concentration, in B it is in low concentration. So after getting the sequence, you can do database search, and from database search you can identify the protein it is coming from. So you conclude that this one protein is present in high concentration is state 1, the sample 1, and less concentration in sample B. In fact, you can precisely quantify their concentration also. Quantify the concentration of this protein in A sample and the B sample. And that was one of the major objectives of proteomic studies. So label-free quantification has advantage like it's very simple. It eliminates the need of complex labeling procedure. You don't label. Without labeling, you can do separation of peptides and identification. It's a cost effective because you are not using any isotopic or fluorescent tag here. So it's cheaper relatively. It has a dynamic range, means it can detect even low abundant proteins present in your sample. Preservation of the sample integrity, since LFQ does not require labeling, it maintains original structure function of the protein. But there is one drawback also, because proteins are not only peptide, they are modifications also present in the protein, and those modifications you lose when you are fragmented protein in LFQ for separation.